on Sunday. Now, whoever makes it through in the Sunday playoffs will qualify for the regionals. Whoever qualifies in the regionals makes it to QuakeCon, which is the venue for the Quake World Championship. So this is a very important match. Whoever wins this will move on. Now, Av3k, we saw Noctis earlier. He looked incredibly dangerous. However, his opponent being Av3k, this guy's dangerous in his own right. This guy has seen first placings in both Quake 4, Quake 3, Quake Live. This man knows a thing or two about Quake, and he just picked Clutch, so I'm very excited.
He did indeed. So we're seeing a lot of like core, kind of like very common pickups. So Nyx is very popular, Anarchy is very popular, Blazkowicz is very popular. But then we see a couple of like, I suppose like flavor picks, right? So Clutch, not too common today, but we have seen him be very, very effective. Sorlag, another one. Visor, very much in the same boat. There seems to be those like core picks of like Nyx, Blazkowicz / Anarchy, and then you get sort of like your flavor picks on top of that, and he definitely seems to be one of those.
Well, I believe that's actually, it was against Vu, right? Where Vu actually opted to go for the clutch change after a set that was going south.
He did, indeed. He went to clutch in game 2, and it was really effective.
But it worked so well because it's just, you know, the game plan that Clutch will establish, where it's like, right, if you're going to play this sort of keep away sort of defensive game, Clutch, when he's fully stacked up, can just sort of pop the new speed mobility he's got access to because of his new passive with the strafe dodging, using that as mobility in conjunction with the faster rockets in the patch and his shield being, you know, as good as it is for that up close fight. Like, he plays a unique game, and I feel like later on in the tournament, Av3k using Clutch as well, I'm really excited to see what he does with it, because I feel like he's going to demonstrate no fear, and demonstrating no fear is exactly what you do to win with Clutch.
But we've already seen just how fast Blazkowicz can really delete your life bar, you know, if he's got those LGs and he's got you in a bad position. And what better character to stop Blazkowicz from killing you than Clutch? You know, he uses his dual wield, you pop your barrier. You've got a shorter cooldown, it lasts, I mean, I could be wrong, but
it's pretty much up for a very
it lasts long enough to sponge most of that damage.
They're definitely up for an almost identical amount of time, where the second you see him pop his dual wield, you have enough time to react and then pop your shield wall, and then you pretty much soak up like, you know, like 80–90% of it. So the important thing is that you're not going to get fragged when you're popping the shield. So he's one of the few champions that completely takes this, you know, this game-changing ability, which can just delete most champions, and it nullifies it. You know, it forces him to go for maybe a rocket to try and shoot the ground. It forces him to, you know, do whatever else might go through the shield. You know, sometimes you see people try and gauntlet Clutch because the gauntlet goes through the shield. Believe it or not, you see that used, you know, more often than not when it comes to those up-close situations.
You said it goes through the barrier, so that's clearly something that makes sense. But
obviously, I don't recommend always doing it because he's probably got a rocket launcher or something, but it works.
But, or even a shotgun. Can you imagine that? You shot a gauntlet, but you've just got this barrier, and he's got a double barrel, and he's like, no.
If I've got a double barrel, that's what I want, because 120 damage, and I've got the just. We'll get into that another time, but that's a fantastic
One thing I want to point out about Noctis, though, we saw him, I believe, in our first series of the day.
Dominant.
He was
earlier.
He was not knocked off his Anarchy.
No.
We didn't see anything else but his Anarchy particularly in the first series, and he's gone straight with it again. Most likely picking it first, if you know previous games is anything to show by, but looking thoroughly lethal on this character. But Anarchy versus Nyx, Blazkowicz and Clutch, it's going to be hard for him to burst down Nyx because obviously the Ghost Walk, Blazkowicz is just going to go toe-to-toe with damage, but at the same time we've seen how hard it can be to really pin down an Anarchy who's kind of, you know, dodging, strafing around all over the place, and Clutch just has that barrier. So do you think it's going to be a bit harder for him to get such a clean sweep on this team particularly?
It's going to be a different game. I mean, like, you know, getting a clean sweep on characters in the nature of what we just saw, where you say, you know, Nyx, BJ, and Clutch, all three of them are quite unique in their own sense, and you just explained it yourself, where BJ does massive damage. Nyx, you know, she's not really easy to shred because she has access to that Ghost Walk, which makes her invincible and she can get away from danger, and then Clutch, with his massive health pool, the shield to reduce damage as well. So I think Anarchy in particular, I mean, you know, at first things first, we're expecting him to, you know, he's going to have to go to his other champions as well, because no doubt Av3k is going to be a very formidable opponent for him. But Anarchy first is probably something we're going to see quite a lot. We see Anarchy picked first almost all the time. These really fast, agile champions that can rotate around the map really quickly, they do sort of tend to be the first pick quite often.
I mean, we're saying how much of a snowball character it can be when he's got some of those injections stacking up, he's getting more health, and I do believe our warm-up period is done, so we are good to get straight into this match again. This is another deciding factor to see who makes it into Sunday's playoffs.
Now, Noctis is once again going to find himself on the crop to keep. Bear in mind, guys, the map is always going to be predetermined until a player loses. So, Noctis back on the crop to keep. This was a map he was so dominant with in our first match of the tournament, but Av3k is not going to make it easy for him.
Of course, now we see some of those nail gun shots, really just trying to zone away. Nail gun doing more damage now in this patch.
again, both players at this stage, though. Av3k does catch him midair with the lightning gun. That's going to do a very respectable amount of damage. And with 3 seconds left on the Mega Health, I wonder if Noctis can contest. No, he's opting to just try and escape. He does not want to deal with anything. Unfortunately, he took a bunch of damage, and Av3k now has both Mega Health and heavy armor. I do believe his ability is down, though, so he's going to have that at least.
No, you can see Noctis trying to pepper some damage out from a distance, trying to hit him, doing quite a lot, but all that shield is sponging up. And let's not forget, Blazkowicz heals up to his next sort of block of health after 3 seconds of not taking damage, so he is going to be able to keep himself healed up from a distance.
We see another fight, however, popping the injection once again, just trying to get out there. Bear in mind, he gets a speed boost as well as an increase to his maximum health. But I feel like on this map in particular, the heavy machine gun is going to be used to snipe a lot more than the rail, because bear in mind, no rail on Corrupted Keep.
That was actually some really good movement there by Noctis. He found himself slipped down, and it was quite hard for him to get away, but was able to find a quick getaway. And Av3k wasn't able to chase him, but Av3k still with a massive armor and shield advantage.
At this stage, Av3k, no doubt, he's probably going to have his dual wield ready as well, so if he catches Noctis in a bad place, he is going to get annihilated. Speaking of which, pops it, and it forces Noctis to escape. Bear in mind, though, Anarchy, he's probably going to be able to get that initial burst of speed to escape. Catches the 100 damage rocket, but he stays to fight. Doesn't do as much damage as he would have liked, though, and Av3k lives.
His still guns quite a lot, and there's a lightning bolt to be enough to finish him off. He's chasing him down.
Oh, that was actually almost a little bit risky.
I was worried he wasn't going to quite get enough LG damage at the end, but was able to.
Bear in mind as well, Av3k, once again, guys, no rail, so you're not going to find someone and immediately tag them. Noctis is going to be able to survive, forces the Ghost Walk out of there, but no doubt Av3k actually using it to sort of stay in the fight. I think he wants to try and get the Mega, does successfully pick it up.
Av3k, even though he got the Mega Health, still massively down on life at the moment. Noctis managing to top himself up, going for the armor. No, it's not quite there, Av3k. Oh, you can tell he was just praying for that Mega armor to be there, and unfortunately, it just wasn't.
Unfortunately, I think miscalculating the respawn time on that Mega armor cost him dearly, and he's forced down to his final champion. I think Visor on this map, as effective as he is, he's not going to have that immediate hit scan to punish you with from range. Then again, you might not necessarily be at range because this map's very small.
Same time, you can know where Anarchy is on this map, but he can get basically point A to point B very quickly, almost no matter where he is. Catches him on the way out. This is Visor, no escape options aside from just that health.
Actually doing minimal damage with the rocket, tries to go in with the lightning gun, but Av3k catches a crucial rocket, and he is going to be back in this fight. And for the first time, we've seen Noctis get forced onto another champion.
Indeed, he's still going for this fight, and there we go, Noctis popping that Ghost Walk just to get away. And they're still very, very healthy.
He's definitely healthy enough that he can make a comfortable comeback. You know, he was so far down, but that one frag on the Anarchy, he's now got, you know, supercharged up there armor, lots of health to work with. If he can catch Noctis right here while taking minimal damage, if he catches a good spawn on the BJ, I mean, that's it. He can potentially take the whole round.
Maybe, but you can see him here coming through, nowhere near the piercing sight. So definitely just look from the old-fashioned way. Looks like he has, but he's taking a lot of damage while he's pursuing him. Oh my god, another rocket as well. Noctis with these preemptive rockets.
That's so much work. He's doing minimal damage from range as well. Noctis is doing a good job of just sort of peppering him down, keeping him at bay. Speaking of which, you wonder who's going to contest this Mega. I think Noctis, yeah, manages to take it very, very comfortably.
Armor's up soon. Sort of going for it, trying not to be too obvious. Getting a lot of lightning gun from the side. Here we go, here's that fight. He picks up the armor, there's the Ghost Walk in retaliation. He chased him down, he knows exactly where he's going to be. The piercing sight comes through, he cannot hide.
I don't think he's able to take him for long enough, though. Even though he knew where he was, Noctis was safely behind walls. He couldn't keep track of it. And unfortunately, even though he knew where he was going, he wasn't able to get any damage on the table.
This game we're seeing here that really favour this little corner here, because the Mega Health, and those two little health packs really do a good job of just bringing him back up to that full healthy life.
I mean, he was on the back foot a couple of times this round, but I mean, even though he's one champion down, bear in mind, 40 seconds on the clock. He's probably going to have one more piercing sight use before the round is over. He needs to make it count. At this stage, Noctis is absolutely going to play this defensive game. 30 seconds left. Now, this is the last time we've seen this ability used. It will not be ready again. He knows he's really far away. He's going to try and secure the Mega, no doubt. We might see him go for the rush here. He has to make something happen, otherwise he's going to go down through lack of champions alone. 15 seconds. Call that 10. He has to make something happen right now, otherwise Noctis is going to take it.
Noctis is just standing almost completely still, just waiting out for him there, just trying to run away. You know he has the Ghost Walk. I think that might be it.
Almost to the point where you wonder if Av3k almost like forgot about the clock to a degree, where like he actually wasn't being like super aggressive when it was like there was 5 seconds left and you have to like super run in there.
Yeah, but at the same time, even though that seems like your only choice, they're still going to be expecting you to do that. So you don't want to just run into guaranteed death. You want to be careful enough. But unfortunately, Noctis was able to run the clock in a really good way there. And we're fighting straight away.
Av3k does manage to actually beat Noctis to that. However, I mean, look at the damage. It's been completely undone, pretty much.
Oh, almost teleports straight into a rocket launcher and some nailgun damage coming out.
Nailgun on this map in particular, very good at sort of zoning the opponent away, keeping them at distance, because it does do a huge amount of damage. 20 damage per nail with the rapid fire rate it has. Very effective.
Especially on someone like Anarchy, who doesn't really have that much health to go with as a whole anyway.
Bear in mind, Anarchy, most of the time he hasn't got like under 80 health. If he gets hit by 4 nails with no armor, he's dead.
And once again, Noctis finds himself very low on health and armor, trying to build himself up, but Av3k really controlling these mega pickups once again. Catching the shotgun versus Anarchy, this could be chaotic.
He opted not to go in for the dual wield because he didn't need it. I really like the fact that Av3k waited for the injection, but then when he realized he'd done so much damage, he didn't need to use the dual wield anyway. Just save it for the next fight.
Especially, I mean, that's the thing. If you can catch Anarchy point blank with that massively powerful super shotgun, do so much damage to someone like that. Like, no, same story for Nyx, I suppose, but it's some LG. I'm not quite sure if Noctis used his Ghost Walk there or not.
Well, Av3k has been using his dual wield so sparingly, you know, like in all these instances where you normally see it get popped quite early and then almost nothing happens because the opponent runs away or outruns it or whatever. Right now, Av3k is yet to use it. You know he's just looking for that right moment. The question is,
doesn't want to waste it, and what's the point in him popping it if she's just going to Ghost Walk? Ghost Walk has a shorter cooldown, so unfortunately it's just going to not be in his favor ever.
Yeah, he's definitely not going to be able to use it until he sees it, the Ghost Walk get used, and then then it's safe to activate without wasting it. Cool. On the flip side, not ready for Noctis to be waiting there on the right. We see a little bit of blue mist, so he knows he's going to pick it up. Tries to go in for the ground rocket, maybe expecting Noctis to sit there on the heavy armor, but not today. Hasn't got the health taker. I think Noctis might take this one.
This is even Av3k 1 HP.
It's literally 1 HP, and the passive to put him on to his next 25 health. I mean, that's why Blaskowicz's passive is so crucial. You're never really at 1 HP.
It's almost like a free health pack, if you think about it. Like, if you're in that situation that you're 1 health away from the lower bar, and you just get that guaranteed 25, it is almost like a free health pack.
Does manage to meet him, and now the time is good. Pops it when he knows Noctis can't escape. And just like that, you see the damage that Blaskowicz can dish out.
Now we're back to this. Is that Blaskowicz mirror match? Things might have just got a little bit more aggressive.
Goes in for the dual wield, and Noctis answering back with his own. And the damage output once again cleaning him up. But Av3k, even though Noctis didn't manage to get that frag, Av3k still has the champion advantage. Not anymore! I spoke too soon! That lightning gun tracking was superb. Now Av3k forced onto that visor. He's going to get the scan, so he's going to know exactly where Noctis is. But you wonder if it matters. He's just picked up heavy armor, and now he is unbelievably stacked for the next fight.
Makes you wonder if Av3k thought a little bit too far ahead there, sort of rushing in against a Blaskowicz when all you have is a tri-bolt. As a Nyx, didn't quite work out for him, unfortunately.
There we go.
There we go, we heard it. There's that piercing sight being used.
Noctis heard it as well. Noctis heard that one as well. However, that 48 rocket's going to do a nice, respectable amount of damage. Health is a little bit even right here, though, as you can see on the top of the screen. Both players' health and armor indicator on the top of the spectator screen.
Oh, there we go, and that's what we see so much on this map. That lightning gun from the below. Oh, actually got knocked into the air by Noctis rocket. No, by Av3k's rocket, I should say. And that launch actually gave him enough height to finish off with the LG. That was a blessing in disguise, I think.
Well, worked out superbly well. Bear in mind, each map is going to be a 3 out of 5. So he's 2 rounds up, but a 3-round comeback is absolutely not going to be impossible, especially not this late on in the tournament, where every player in the bracket is dangerous.
So this is just the first map as well, so if Av3k can kind of pull this one back, he will be in the lead, but Noctis is definitely looking in a bit more of a comfortable situation to do so. But as I can say that, Av3k gets him just completely pinned into the corner with that dual wield. And there we go, Anarchy is bye-bye.
Bear in mind, comebacks are totally possible. We saw Faz versus Vu. A very, very convincing game number 1 to Faz. They ended up losing that set because Vu just got it together. Changed up his champions, went for some different maps. The adaptations he needed, that was it. He moved on 2-1 and the comeback was superb. Can never count these guys out.
Of course, we're already seeing Noctis did so much work with Blaskowicz last round that even if he does lose Nyx here, he could make the comeback. But again, that is sort of just down to the nature of how explosive this game can be. You know, some of these rounds are really long-winded and drawn out, but then they can be over in the blink of an eye if they're caught slipping. Definitely depends on the champion you're playing. Av3k, you know, he's shown us already that he can annihilate with Blaskowicz when he gets that dual wield on deck, but he's using it at the right time. He's really yet to waste it, to be honest. Every time he's caught it, it's pretty much been on the money, and something important has resulted from using it. Is he going to go for it? No. Opts use it a little bit too late. Actually, Noctis running away. I wonder if he realizes just how much damage he's done to Av3k. I'm not quite sure, but Av3k was forced to waste it. That's very unfortunate. Able to get a few health bars here, though, back up to 75.
I suppose at the very least, the dual wield did get Noctis to run away. He did manage to survive the fight because of it, but again, catching that range, once again going in for the super nail gun. If you haven't got a railgun, compromises have to be made. Heavy machine gun, super nail gun, anything to do big damage from a distance will have to do on this map.
Rock doesn't quite connect, but his prediction was there. Oh, catching the lightning gun. Was trading a little bit of damage for damage. Av3k once again finds himself super low, and Noctis again isn't pushing the momentum. I don't know if he's quite aware how low he has him at the moment.
And Av3k, unfortunately, actually fumbled his jump trying to get that regular health. So Noctis actually had the time to come back round with Ghost Walk and finish him off.
Now here we go. Noctis gets that Nyx. Back to the mirror match for Av3k. Her Nyx once again is super low. We saw this last round. Av3k lost his Nyx basically straight away.
1 second away from the Mega Armor. I wonder if Av3k's going to go for it. He has no other option. He has to try and get health back. And just like that, actually, Av3k turning the momentum. Noctis was looking so good. But now Av3k coming straight back. And he got stacked up, ready for the next battle. And Noctis forced onto his BJ.
Of Blazkowicz, we've already seen make so much work here with this character. We saw it last round.
Oh, nice. Actually, really nice wall jump, actually, being unpredictable around the corner. Av3k, you know, in this situation, he's going to have access to his Ghost Walk, catches the 100 damage of trade! But it didn't matter. I believe that didn't matter. He died first.
Prepare to fight.
Expletives.
Of course, but there we go, 2 rounds to 1. Once again, we still find ourselves with Noctis with the lead, but Av3k definitely making things happen. 1 round there to return. I mean, Noctis has been losing his Anarchy quite early in these rounds so far, so definitely still has that magic behind him, but Av3k's been doing such a good job of just knocking him off of this character straight away.
Now, Av3k did actually manage to beat him to the rocket. Sorry, not Av3k, sorry, Noctis did actually manage to beat him to the rocket, but I think he acknowledged that Av3k had a super shotgun. Anarchy, he doesn't want to get hit by a point-blank super shotgun. Noctis does like 120 damage when Anarchy has 82 max health.
Oh, that was super close. That almost was a traded out kill. Rocket to LG, but there we go, sitting there ready for that mega health to come back.
It was just very confident play. Like, he kind of really appreciated his own ability to try and dodge rocket, but the shotgun doesn't manage to close it out, and Noctis gets another good rocket. He has survived on the brink twice now in this round.
Just as I can say that Noctis has been losing his Anarchy very early in these rounds, the 1 round he doesn't, look at what happens.
Catches another good rocket on the jump pad. Fantastic prediction. Now Av3k is between a rock and a hard place. He has to get something, he has to try and run away. And while he runs away, he's going to concede that mega health and maybe the mega armor. Depends on if he can beat him to it.
It's up any second now. He's waiting for it, and there's that preemptive rocket. Does connect. Actually, yeah, Noctis lost quite a lot of armor and health in that exchange, but Av3k once again on this visor. No armor to work with. He's stuck here. This could be death if Noctis can get a few good hits, but he is going to run away.
I think when you've got the champion advantage, the important thing is making sure that even if you've just lost the health and armor you've just got back, Av3k didn't pick it up.
He definitely doesn't want to overcommit. He's going to teleporter down. There's that injection to top him back up to full health and to get himself that rocket launcher reloaded as well.
But you can see the strength of Anarchy on this map. Like, when he pops this injection, not only does he heal himself, but he can navigate this small map so fast. Speaking of which, Av3k did pop his piercing sight. He now knows where Noctis is going to go. I think he knows he can safely pick up a rocket from that distance.
Oh, there he is. He's seen him point blank, and I don't think he quite wanted to get that close. And Av3k once again with that lightning gun doing so much damage, and Noctis forced to run away.
Once again, really on the retreat, gets tagged in the backside as he tries to go away. Hasn't got a huge amount of health or armor. Acknowledging that he's going to try and head him off, and the lightning gun finishes that one off.
Av3k once again found there, so Noctis goes straight to Nyx as a second character. This could work out well for him, having that Ghost Walk just to get away from this guaranteed damage, but Av3k now has control over these mega pickups, very healthy, covered in armor, and has all the weapons he needs to make this comeback.
Yeah, if he catches Noctis out of position right now, it's going to be, pretty much all she wrote until Noctis gets forced onto the Blazkowicz pick. Again, doing a really good job, taking a bunch of damage though. Still got more health and armor than Noctis. Especially since he's now picked up the Mega. He didn't see him go in for the Ghost Walk, and Noctis with a surprise attack!
Oh, and that is going to pay off. Noctis is able to clutch that one out, and map number 1 goes to Noctis. Av3k caught with nowhere to run.
That's just one of the many reasons that Nyx is as effective as she is in DueL. The second you use that Ghost Walk, if you're going to make that surprise attack, if you know the opponent hasn't seen you activate it, especially on a small map like this, and especially when your health, I mean, bear in mind, Av3k had quite a lot of health in that fight as well. But it's because he got the surprise from behind, the time it took for him to turn around and acknowledge that he was taking damage. He'd taken so much lightning gun anyway that, I mean, it was too late. There wasn't much he could do. And Noctis, going up 1 game, all he has to do now is win the next map, and he's moving on into our Sunday playoffs for week 1.
Well, that's what I mean. That's the point of the tournament that we're currently at, is these guys, they're playing now to make it through to Sunday's Cup. If they get through to Sunday's playoff and they win that 1 match there, and they effectively get through to the top 8 of this bracket, this week, we'll be seeing them again at the regionals, later on down the line, where they will then play off for a chance at the Quake World Championship. So they basically have to really put in the grind now early on just to qualify. But if they can do so this week, what a load of stress relief, right? Getting that out in week 1, instead of qualifying last minute, week 4, after 4 weeks of trying. The first one you enter, making it through the finals, that's the situation these guys want to be playing.
We mentioned this at the very beginning of the stream, but the important thing is making sure that if you can qualify in week number 1, you've pretty much streamlined your training regime ready for the regionals. Or, you know, because that's basically what you're going to be playing for. Because bear in mind, the regionals send you to QuakeCon, which is a venue for the World Finals. You know, it's all one big method to try and succeed and qualify for the finals. However, if you get it in week 1, you don't have to worry about anything else. Just play and grind, and more importantly, spend the rest of the weeks watching your competition. Because bear in mind, studying the gameplay, studying the way these guys like to handle each map, handle each champion that they pick. You can now play in your own time, scrim with who you want to scrim with, but at the same time, you've now got 3 free weeks to just watch everyone else play. And just soak all that in.
Or to focus on Sacrifice, if you're entering the team tournaments as well. You know,
of course.
Qualifying for this and getting that guaranteed. Obviously, we're doing Sacrifice again later this week, and then again next week, I believe. So do be getting sure you're getting in, entering there with your team. If you're not really a 1v1 guy and you want to go for more of those team modes, we do have Sacrifice, which will also be there at the Quake World Championship, so definitely all to play for. But even then today, the one big note I have from this one is Noctis Anarchy is explosive. It's dangerous. You know what I mean? The first time we saw this today, he wasn't knocked off this character once. He was completely unstoppable. And even here, the few rounds that he doesn't get knocked off Anarchy straight away, he just goes to town. And it's, I can imagine it being quite intimidating to deal with.
But it's when Anarchy is basically coming straight at you. When Anarchy is going for that charge straight in front of you, it's kind of hard to hit him with a rocket that does really good damage when he's going that far towards your general direction. You know, that's one of the elements he has. So on Corrupted Keeper it was particularly useful. However, we're now going to be playing on Blood Run.
Indeed, Blood Run, a very popular duel map today, but Noctis going for that 3rd swap actually, instead of going for, I believe he had the... I believe, yeah, last time he had the Blazkowicz, he's actually going to be going for a Ranger instead. Ranger on Blood Run seems to be very popular.
I mean, it's the usual story, right? It's either Galena or it's Ranger or it's both. You know, it's pretty much the traditional champions we're seeing get picked on top of, like, I guess, the usual bunch which we've been seeing all tournament, which is always going to be, you know, Nyx and Anarchy in particular have been very popular throughout this entire tournament. But then the maps do introduce variables, you know, where they go, right, so now I'm on this map, on top of my core, I've now got like an extra flavor that I can add to my gameplay. And, you know, it's maps like Blood Run, I think, really sort of bring that out. That's why we see people like Galena get picked. But at the same time, I mean, you know, this is potentially one more map. So Noctis is up 1 game. Av3k now, if he loses this map, bear in mind Blood Run was the map that Av3k would have picked because he's the one that lost. He has the option to choose the next map. If he loses this, he has to try again next week. And Noctis will move on into the Sunday playoffs.
Well, that's what I mean. You know, it's not like if these players lose this week, that's it. You know, their shot at the Quake World Championships is gone. They still have that safety net, right? They have 3 more weeks to qualify, but they don't want to be scrambling every week trying to do it last minute.
And again, Noctis going with the tried and true Anarchy pick, picking him straight away, first time. Definitely seems to be his sort of go-to boy. First things first. Now Av3k though going on for the Nyx. Again, very traditional. We see Nyx picked first a lot as well. Her ability to sort of snowball and make, you know, 1 character victories in record time. Catches him with a super shotgun, doesn't do a huge amount of damage though. Forced onto 50 health. And if only Av3k did an extra bit of damage, Noctis would have gone down.
Oh, and there's the rockets are missing. He can bag himself the mega health though. He can get himself away, get the armor as well. Wow. Eats a lot of damage through the rocket jumps, but he's still going to secure himself the armor.
Right here, Noctis, just again, off to an amazingly good start. He's been playing so well this entire tournament. Obviously, we saw Noctis at E3, putting in work with the European crowd. Very experienced with Quake champions already, even though the game's quite new.
It definitely looks like it. And obviously, you say Anarchy, that's kind of his boy, that point character.
Oh
he
no,
just steals the mega health!
He just beat him to it and popped the injection, like just like that. That was just one big, haha, I took it over you, deal with it, mate.
And not only that, it's also resulted in him getting another frag and the mega armor. Absolutely insane stuff, and Av3k already forced on his final character, his visor. Oh, and he's getting lightning gunned.
Can't take a single decent rocket now, not with the health he's got left. Tries to go in for the nail gun, does a bit of respectable damage, but Noctis doesn't have a huge amount of damage to fight either. However, those health pickups are going to do a good job of evening out on the airborne rail from Noctis, taking that first round.
Yeah, that's actually one thing that I was going to bring attention to, is we hadn't actually seen Noctis on any map today that gave you access to a railgun. So I was curious to see how on point he would be with them. And I think that final play kind of answers that question.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this far into the tournament, these players are going to know a thing or two about execution, that's for sure. Trying to deny the area, going in with the tri-bolt. Probably would have stuck with the rail if he knew that Av3k was there a little bit earlier.
I just look how fast this character is and just moving around the map. You have that movement on deck. Oh, big rocket damage coming through.
Oh!
What was that?
The rocket to move him out of the way of the teleporter so he can't escape, and the rail to finish the job. Really good sequence from Noctis.
That was dangerous stuff. Once again, Noctis finds himself fully stacked on tower.
100 damage, that's going to force it. I think he's ready for him to stay back there.
I don't know if Noctis was ready for him to stand still like that. I'm not quite sure if he was ready. And she's invisible with a ghost walk.
Is he going to go for the rush? I think he's going to rush this. Quite. I don't think he wants to run into a nail gun.
Oh, he will rush this one though. No, maybe not. Oh, yes, he is.
Going straight in, no fear. He's got an injection if he needs it, but didn't have the chance to pop the ability. I wonder why not. Maybe he just didn't get it in time.
He just didn't assume he was going to take that much damage that fast. Just see what's that. No, there's that lightning gun from underneath.
Av3k though, now it's his turn to try and pull this one back. He had some good rounds of his own last time.
And there's that prediction. Picks up the armor though, saves himself, keeps himself alive. Again, was that kill with the nail gun? Yes, it was, yeah. Av3k just did so much damage with the nail gun before. I don't know if Noctis was just ready to take that much damage that fast.
Gonna go back down towards that Mega once again, but it's not up for another 14 seconds. Patiently waiting, I think.
I mean, there's still another 10 seconds. Might not seem like a lot of time, but it can be.
All going straight in with the LG. Both of them will use it, bear in mind. Noctis is going to be close to Mega, but he steals it! And the close range, point blank rail. If that missed, that would have been absolutely costly.
They were fortunately it connected, which turned it into an amazing play. And once again, we find ourselves down here. Mega Health nowhere near respawn, but Noctis forced on this Ranger now. See if this pick is going to be worth it.
He's on really good form so far.
Oh my lord.
That one hurt so much.
That did some damage, man. Absolutely. Out of nowhere, the Dire Orb.
I mean, it does 100 damage. The second that orb connects, you're losing 100. That's a direct rocket. That's a direct rocket's worth of damage. Av3k, he's taken a bunch of rockets, but bear in mind, because he didn't have the heavy armor, he is still going to be alive and relatively healthy compared to Noctis, who only has 25 armor.
Oh, missed the rail. That could have been crucial. Misses another one.
Really trying to zone him out. 10 seconds.
The third.
10 seconds until that Mega Health. I think Noctis is going to really try and hold up this fort until it appears. Obviously, Av3k's not going to make it easy. If he's going to take it, he's going to take damage in the process.
Well, there you go, the armor's up too, just trading health for armor, I think, at that point. And obviously, Noctis able to grab a little bit, at least, so it's not a complete trade-off.
Once again, though, both players down to their final champion of this round, but as I've just mentioned that, Av3k has popped his piercing sight, so he's going to know exactly where Noctis is.
He's standing completely still, though. He wants to give anything away. Not just a little bit of a...
I see you, mate. I see you.
in the chat, a little bit.
Manages to take a rail as well. Gets a second.
Wow.
Av3k cannot survive now. Av3k has hit 2 rails. I wonder why he's still there.
That was just a good finish on Noctis's part. He's just landing all 3 of them row to row like that. I mean, Av3k was just seemingly desperate for that Mega Health to respawn. And Noctis finds himself again in a good position. 2 rounds up.
I feel like Av3k must have realized that if I'm going to make this comeback, I need to get this Mega Health. But I feel like at that situation where he had to hit Noctis with 2 rails compared to him getting hit with 1, those odds just weren't in his favor at all. But it is going to be match point for Noctis. If he wins this round, he's going to move on to the Sunday playoffs, where he will be facing off against the likes of Cypher, who has already qualified as well.
But Noctis just looks really confident, like super comfortable the whole
I
time.
agree.
Oh, there's that rail. 80 damage. Squitz is going to fill that one in the morning.
Going straight through. Oh, pops the injection. He had 20 health, but it didn't matter. Really good use of the injection. He certainly would have died if he didn't use it.
Especially when Blaskowitz popped that dual wield. He was ready to just absolutely annihilate. Did not get the chance to. And Noctis once again finds himself 1 champion up. Av3k forced on Nyx now. Very squishy.
Yeah, definitely. She's going to have access to her Ghost Walk, but again, she's only going to get that once every sort of 30 seconds or so. There we go, forced to use it. Gonna go away.
Rail didn't quite connect.
But Av3k, you look at his health. He has not got that Ghost Walk, so if Noctis catches him off guard like this, just like this, that's gonna be it.
Oh, right before the Mega Health respawned as well. That's unfortunate. And Noctis finds himself comfortably again 1 champion away from just eliminating Av3k this week and moving on to Sunday's playoffs.
His timing on the pickups has been so good as well. Like the very second it comes back, he's on the case. He's caught him on respawn. He's not got much HP either. Bear in mind.
Uh-oh.
That might be it. That might be over. He's no doubt. He's going to chase it. No, he's being very patient, but just look at the health. Av3k can't survive. He gets one more rail. That's going to be it, and he does land the rail. Noctis moves on. He's going to play in this Sunday playoff, and Av3k will have to try again next week.
I have no doubt we'll be